Hello everyone. In this video I'll be making a demo for the TIN software, which was basically developed for intermediaries, for all intermediaries company, or you can call them insurance agents. These are the people that are middlemen between end clients, or you can call them the insureds and the actual insurance companies. So this TIN software is basically made and developed for day-to-day work activities done by these insurance agencies, or most times you can call them intermediaries. So this was made with very many modules to make sure you can be able to manage your company straight from commission generations, claims management, earnings evaluations, plus also other office management tools like requisitions, expenses management. You can be able to see all that, and that is what I'm going to be exactly presenting in this video. So you can be able to see and evaluate exactly how I'm going to be illustrating the different use scenarios or use cases of this TIN software. Okay, if you're impressed by this TIN software, it is very basic and straight to the point, to the fact that it points to any insurance intermediary, especially those situated in East Africa and still more specifically in Uganda. Alright, so I'll be showing you exactly how this works, and I'll be taking you through step by step how everything is done, straight from managing clients, and those are individuals or corporates, up to when you can be able to generate reports, automated reports from the system. So without further ado, or without any time wastage, I'll start straight away. So if you need to purchase this to be used as your management tool for your company as an intermediary, you can be able to reach out to me, or to actually send a mail to info@nestwavetechnologies.com, where we shall be able to get back to you. Or even for scenarios where you need some customization, or maybe you want to own the software to be fully yours, or to be pointing to exactly what your company does, day-to-day operations, so you can be able to reach out to me, and we see how straight we go forward to this. Okay, so I'll begin straight by logging in to my system, and by right now everything is still at default, and I'll log in with the username user1, password being password, and I'll click to sign in. Now this, before you get to the dashboard, it has a two-factor authentication where at least you need to feed an OTP, one-time password, which can be sent to the company mail if at all configured to your mail, or even straight from our servers when they send an OTP straight. But for now, by default, the OTP will be 06 times, and I'll be able to put that. And without any time wasted or seconds, you can see that now the system has taken me straight to the dashboard section, where I can be able to see different summaries of what actually I do have here. And you can be able to see that on this left pane I have different modules like client and proposals, where here you can have individuals or corporates, commissions, and this is where the generation of commissions will be happening. Alright, then you have client claims. How do you manage claims? How do you handle claims? Expiring policies whose date is set to expire will be shown here, if at all the data exists in the database of the system, and that's according to your records. This is having production or office, which includes all premium payments list. Earnings, these are auto-generated by the system. Dates, also auto-generated by the system. All you have to do is to update the dates, and that's when the client makes the actual payment. Okay, so you can be able to get requisitions if you're actually, this comes to when your company usually has different departments where one can be able to write a requisition, let me say to finance, If maybe you want to request for a specific item, you can see petty cash. Okay, that's all under office or production. Then you go to expenses. We've categorized this as fuel, salary, field, and other expenses. We have insurers. You can be able to set which insurers you can be able to work with, but for now, if I click on this, you have default insurers. As I told you, it is for now standardized to Ugandan government. You can be able to see that these are by default in the system already, where we have this. Okay, you can read through this and you can be able to add a new insurer. If at all you want to work with them, you can put their type. Most times it is either a life or non-life insurance company, insurer name, their website. These are all optional, so you can get to be able to add the phone too. Alright, so but for now the system will come with all these, which can be either be able to delete or edit. Okay, there are very many, so you can be able to add more, because the system will get data from the insurer, be able to actually to to relate insurer data to covers, to policies, to expiries, to claims. So it all relates in one thing. Just this one is that it is categorized for now to make it easier for you. Covers and rates. Here we have different covers. All right, we have some default covers here, but you can be able to delete or edit them. And just like how I told you, it will be having a name, the rate. These will be able to help you calculate the actual earnings or commissions. All right, the stamp duty, all this is defaulted to Uganda. That's why you see units as UGX. All right, so this is 35, rather 35, something like that. Okay, but you can be able to set this that you be like, my company is going to work with rates. Let me say for aviation 10%, for bonds, custom bonds 20. Can be able to customize all these. Fire classes 22.5, because at the end of it all, the system will auto generate commissions and it will be able to determine smartly all your earnings and commissions you'll be able to make. You can set the VAT, the withholding taxes, the IRA levy. This is according to Uganda right now. You can set it according to your country. Okay, so you can be able to manage users. If you want other users to be able to access this system at the same time, so that you guys come up with one goal, you can add them here, or you can even get to invite them. Okay, so any person who has super admin rights, or the MD or the auditor, can be able to invite other users. Okay, you can see all these options are here. You go to reports, can be able to generate reports. All right, so you can do a lot of things with this system. Can change your custom settings. You see how everything works here, but for now everything is set to default. So you can see here almost what your eyes look at first: the corporate's number, individuals, total claims you have so far. This is just like a simple summary of what you actually have in your records, or what I can call your database. All right, okay, to show you current date. So when you click here, you can be able to see your default email. This is my email right now as user. I can be able to change my account settings like password. Can be able to invite other user. I can enable the company structure. Okay, company name. Later on, the company name can be able to display right here. So let me take you furthermore by showing you how everything works. Okay, these are quick buttons to help you see office requisitions, petty cash, view expiring policies, open dates. All this just to help you to manage your day-to-day work activities of you as an insurance company. Okay, all right, so what is assumed in this system first is to make sure you add your clients, so that you have an updated clients list with whom you're going to work with whom you're going to know that this client has such a claim, it is pending, or it was settled. This client has expiring policies as this client actually happened to renew a policy in 2020, so it was renewed 20 times, it was renewed 10 times, maybe the 9th time they decided not to renew it, they bought a new policy. So the basic route and the basic part of this is to start with a valid client list, and we assume that a valid client is that person with whom you have a business, what I call a business, someone who has given you business. So they can either be individuals or actually corporate clients. All right, okay, so now I'm going to be showing you how you can be able to add clients, and you see I'll come to my left pane. This side pane is fully adjustable, so you can be able to get to individuals. If at all you have a smaller screen device and you can't actually view this very well, you can decide to collapse this a little so that you actually get a bigger view of your operations. But if you are fine with this, you can actually get on and go on with your work. So right now I have individuals none as 0, so you can be able to okay, so I'm going to be showing you how you can be able to add an individual client. You want to click on this exact button, like add new. You can be able to see that in a given period of time, which is about 40 seconds, this list can be able to get the latest details. If at all you have multiple departments that are doing the same thing, so at least you can get the different latest data from your different departments. So I'll click add new client, and the system will load to take me to add new business. So when you add a client, you can be able to add their first policy data, but the next time they have a second policy, you just have to select the client because the client is existing in the system already. Okay, so my first client will be let me say Adam, Levin. What other name can I use here? Oluwa. Okay, the physical address, let me say Kampala, let me say 7th Street. All right, then I'll be able to add a client email. A client email is very important because when the system becomes more automated, or maybe there are a case of expiries, so if you set this up, a system can be able to send reminders to the clients prior to 2 months earlier or 2 months before, that actually their actual policies they have with us is getting done or it's getting expired in a few. Client email, I'll put sample@mail.com. Marital status, I'll put married. Passport, here you can be able to put either passport, driving ID, something that's nationally valid. So I'll put NIN, national identity number, 1 2 3 4 5 6. TIN number, TIN 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is just basic data entry. Postal address 00256. Mobile number 071234567889, whatever number it is. Date of birth, I'll give them 1990. Nationality, you can select nationality. Let me prefer Nigerian. I'll put Nigerian, for example. Occupation, let me say IT specialist or software engineer. Actually, let me just put and software engineer. So I can choose employment. So these are just histories of what I have in the system already because I've been accessing it many times. So whatever data you have to put right here, it's what you have to put. Then this was part A, where we have to fill client's essential data, and this happens when and only when the client is new. But when they are new, the system will be able to know that this is a new client. But when they are already in the database records of the system already, they will actually be able to be auto selected and the system will autofill. So I told you here, section B, where we get able, where where we actually get able to get the insurance details. This is showing you new insurance section. You can view existing policies of clients. So new insurance section is this, view existing policies. See, list of open policies for these clients. So right now it says no open policies found for Adam Levin or Lua, which is our name we've just put here. The system has checked already and they have no existing policies with us. Okay, so I'll click to new insurance section. This says select risk type and insurer, then you put premium payments below, which will be our part C. Okay, yeah, so I'll click select insurance cover. These are the set of covers we have in the system so far. These are by default because we assume the system is new in this demo. You can select any, but if at all you don't see your cover you want here, you just go to covers and rates. You go to covers. These are the covers I told you about. So you can be able to add another cover. You get a cover name, cover sample. Here you have to give it maximum rates because this is what the system uses to calculate when we go into commissions. Stamp duty, training levies, you give it VAT. These are default values, but you can be able to change them. This was according to the Ugandan, or what you can call East African standards, alright? So withholding taxes, IRA levies, description, but for now I'll skip this and first go to insert my individual client. You can see that the system has panes here, or what you can call tabs. This is I can switch back to individuals, the tab I was on previously, and can go back to covers and rates. Okay, so I don't need this for now. I can close it if I want it closed. Okay, so I'll go back here. I'll select any cover I want. Now this client is purchasing all risks with us. Remember, we are the insurance intermediary. Then you select the insurance, you select the insurance insurer. This is actually the actual company, and all these are default values we have as insurance companies. Okay, you can see all those. I'm not making any advertisement or special promotion of them, but these are just samples, so you can be able to see this. All these are common all over Africa, all over East Africa, but they are most applicable in Uganda. So I gave these as defaults. Sanlam, I will choose Sanlam here. But if at all in this list you're not seeing any of your insurance company you need or you work with, you go straight to insurers. You go to insurer management. Then this can show you a comprehensive list. You can be able to add a new insurer. You give them a name, and that name, after saving this as record, will be shown straight here in the list of insurers. Alright, that's how you'll be able to work with insurers. So there is nothing fixed in the system, and you can be able to go on. Okay, can be able to go on and customize the way you want to use it according to how your company works. Okay, so you can get or select the year of the insurer. All right, and I'll select 2026. I'm recording this video in this current year. I don't know what time you're going to be watching this demo, but this is the most important tool any intermediary can have, and I would rather you to stick on until the video end. All right, as I show these different use scenarios of this teen software, because I devoted a lot of time doing much more research to see and mimic how insurance intermediary works. and this is what I have right here. So you give the policy number. A policy number is that number, that unique number. I know you know, if you're watching this, I know you know what a policy number is, because it is the unique identifier given to the insured when they buy an insurance. Simple. So I'll give a policy number. Let me say sample Paul 123 slash 2026 slash 001 slash whatever 4567 slash 1. Let me leave this 01. I'll just leave it there. Okay, so this is my current policy number. Okay, I'm going to give to this insured or my client who is an individual. Okay, so I'm buying all risks for this client as the policy or the cover, and I'll set a policy number, and I'll set the insurer who gave me this policy number or from whom I'm getting this all risks insurance type. I'll give them a year, the insurance start date. Now by default the system will show you the current date, but you can be able to change this by clicking on the calendar. I'll say, let me give it this 1st January 2026 first, or maybe I'll give it okay, let me give it 5. So most times these insurance policies run for a year. Usually the year that has those number of days, that's when it covers the insured. Yeah, but a day before is when the policy expires. So I'll click on the policy end date of this cover type, and I'll give this is 04. It's a day before 5th, same month but the next year. All right, so here I'm done setting the insurance details, and in this case I've selected an all risks insurance cover. We shall see different scenarios of how you can handle non-motor and motor insurances, or in motor insurance types or covers, but the situation is different when actually the policy is a motor type. Okay, so this is a non-motor, so we shall see different scenarios of how you can handle motor when a client has different policies at the same time. So I'm done with setting this. Now in my next demo I'll be showing how you can be able to attach payments of this payments of the insurance details provided in the B section into the premium payments, which is on the C section, straight to the next section, because you can see this is the full page. I started by adding a client, next I'm attaching insurance details, and next I'm trying to. So the current stage of this process is that I'm done attaching my details of the insurance cover. Next I'm going to be attaching premium payments, and this is the most important part to you as an intermediary, how to actually manage these payments. And you can see here there is a small table. You can see right here, can see that I can add a new premium, or I can even actually view premium records of this client. The client is known to us already. Yeah, Olua Adam Levin. Adam Levin has no existing policies, and same Adam has no past premium payments. Okay, so next we'll be attaching the policy number to get the premium payment of this client. You can even add endorsements as well. The system tells you calculate and record premium payment for this client. You can add endorsements as well, right? Yes, that's right. So we'll be putting the policy number here, the start date, end date, the currency. Most important part here is that this system by default uses the UGX or Ugandan shillings currencies, but you can be able to interswitch or interchange that with the US dollar currencies, and you can be able to work with that if that's what you wish. But for other currencies, they are apparently not supported by this tin software, but that can be able to be done very easily upon request or upon contact. So the premium expected by the client on this cover, we shall be able to note that the date paid, the date when they actually paid this premium, the premium amount paid on this date. Here we're actually expecting, then next we are getting the actual payment. Some clients do not pay instantly the full amount, right? So that becomes the date. So what exactly happens when someone pays part of the premium we expect? That becomes a debt, and we go straight automatically to our system or to our records regarding this tin software. All right, so next we shall be seeing the outstanding amount, and this will be able to be managed if you're told it is more than 0. Then the comments. So without further ado, I'm going to attach payments this client gave me, and I'll click here. You can see that the moment I click to enter the policy number, it gives me a suggestion, and you can notice that these suggestions are the actual things that are here, because now the system is trying to understand what we are trying to do. All right. So we are getting payment for this. So when I click here, I don't want to waste my time by writing the same policy number again, because I'm actually collecting the premium payments for this same policy number. So why would I write the same policy number? Yet I can just click on this, and which I've just done. You will notice that the moment I try to click on this will be auto-filled, because now we are copying the dates here, start and end dates of this same policy, to actually get the policy start and end dates. All right, that's done. So you can be able to see that even if I try to remove one digit, because this policy number isn't the same at all with this, so I'll put back my 7. Even if I write it, these will be able to come here. So I'll try to actually get the currency. What currency are you working with? I'll leave it to UGX. Now for all risks, let me say this client is willing to pay, or maybe we recommended 3 million Ugandan shillings. I'll write my 3. I won't put any commas because the system will know this is a currency. So I'll put 3 million. When did they pay? I'll leave it today's date, or actually I'll give it to first, because no, I'll give it to the policy's date should start from here. I'll say let it start. The payment was given to me by on 5th still. So on 5th, the client gave me actually 3 million to pay for the cover they want to cover for them, for the cover type, which is in this case all risks. Okay, so maybe let me say they paid 2 million, so the outstanding amount will become 1 million. Okay, so I'll just leave. I won't leave any balances. Maybe in the next scenario where I'll be able to see when the client has debts, or maybe they are paying part of the premium. All right, comments, I'll leave no comments, so I'll say client paid fully. This is fully optional, yeah, but in scenarios where the client paid within the same time, but you haven't recorded that in the system, you can actually get to click on this button to say add another premium. Okay, most times client can pay, maybe you forgot to put this, maybe they paid last week, but you're actually updating it in the system this day. You can be able to put, maybe they had to pay 3 million, but then the next day they paid another set of the premium we expect. So I'll just do that in the next example or demo. Right, so I'll just remove this. This is the purpose of this remove, because it removes the actual row that you added here. Okay, can add many multiple rows according to you. Or the other way to do that is to actually write a full premium expect here, then you write a small amount they paid here, so that you can update the next payments as dates here, where you see under production, where you'll be able to see dates. So it's all up to you. Maybe for audit purposes, if a client paid all fully, why would you create a date in the records? Yes, yet the payment was made fully. So this is the premium pay computations, right? So we haven't saved these clients, and right now we have no one in this record as this. So until we finish the first process, which is upload and submit proposal data. Most times when the client is initial or they are new into the records, for example of this tin, yeah, we can be able to choose or to attach documents to them. Now, so I'll try to look for a document and I'll attach this. This is a PDF which I created basically for this. Okay, so this is the PDF I'm attaching. Most times these can be proposal documents you scanned and compiled together, clients biodata, all you can put them here, because you can actually put multiple files here to support or to second this record. Okay, right, so you're recording this thing in the software way into the records, but you're attaching backup documents. So this form won't be able to save if you don't have first initial documents. But if a client is not new to the system, you can be actually be able to not attach any documents. You can be able to attach multiple, like schedules, receipts, what. So I'll click upload my proposal data. So when I click this, my system will say proposal data submitted successfully, and I'll click OK. Straight up right now you see that I have one individual client at the moment, and their name is Adam Levine. Their address is this, their email is this. You can be able to use this later on. Their ID number is this, marital status, total policies. They have one policy at the moment. Can edit biodata, I can delete the client. Okay, can work with all that. I can filter which client list I want to see according to the insurers, and these insurers are those that I have saved in under the insurer management. I can be able to filter by year. Okay, so this is what I have so far, and if I try to refresh, I'll go back straight to my dashboard, and boom, here we are. Now it shows that I have one individual client. I have one premium payment as 3 million UGX that was paid by this. Remember this client, as I showed you earlier in this demonstration video, that they paid 3 million. So far the system is calculating the net commissions, and so far the system is knowing what earnings I have this. So we shall be able to see how this is getting straight, or how it reaches to this. Okay, right, so this is what we have so far. And if I want to see my clients, that was an individual, I click on individuals, the client is here, I click on their name to see the details. On the right here it is, below are the details of Adam Levine Olua. First, part A to show you client biodata, and I can minimize or expand this, and I'll minimize this. Part B to show you policies of this client. So far, Adam Levine Olua has the following policies. Part B1 has non-motor policies, all risks. Insurer is this one. The policy starts from this date. The policy ends this date. This is the policy number. This was registered by user 1. For audit purposes, it will show you this was registered by user 1. The renewal status is nothing because the policy is still on. When actually this policy end date comes to an end, this will turn blue, and this is all under the policies of clients, includes those renewed. I'll minimize this. I'll go to, you can see that we shall be able to see later on the motor policies of this client, but for now there is nothing. So I'll minimize section. The premium, this will be showing a total correlation of all the payments done by these clients prior to their cover, prior to their payment status. You'll be able to, okay, so this is what we have under payments. I'll minimize this. Commissions, will be seeing this. We shall be getting deep into how commission is generated according to different standards. So far their payments has given me that. Client has no claim so far. the expiries and renewals. He has no renewed policies. Dates record, we are not under dates with this guy, so this current client is not actually owing us anything. So you can be able to minimize all this. So you can simply see that this is categorized into biodata of clients, where it has the contact information, biodata of the client's name, email, occupation, blah blah. So policies can be parts. We have premium payments, commissions, claims from this guy. You can be able to manage, and I repeat again, to manage fully anything about your clients with this very, very soft way to use software for basically intermediaries. I won't say it's for people who are too experienced or what, but at the end of the video can be able to master and know how the importance of purchasing such a tool to help you out in your day-to-day activities, how it can work. You can get value for your money in your insurance agent company. So after viewing all this, I'm going to go straight back to individual list, and so far I have none. So the same way you can be able to add clients, or even you can be able to attach more policies to these clients. Let me say he has 20 more. You can add more. You can add more payments. Excuse me. You can be able to add payments, proposals, policies to the client. So this has been the individual client, and now I'm going to be taking you straight to corporates. Corporates usually are companies, or what you can say group of people, group of companies, and I'll do the same process. I have no client, no corporates in the list so far. This is our list. You want to click on add new corporate client. Same way, I'll give the company data, but in this case we just need the company name, the email, physical address, and TIN number for verification. So the company name, let's say it's called Nestwave Technologies and Consults. Physical address, I'll say South Africa. What state do I know in South Africa? Ooh, don't you think I've forgotten? I know no street, no what, but just giving a basic example. So physical address will give South Africa. All right, South Africa. Let me say street ABCDE2. Email address, let me say corporate, let me say company at mail.com. These are just sample data. TIN number, TIN, I'll give TIN 1 2 3 4 5 6. The same way you can be able to view existing policies, view new, or be able to add new insurance sections or policies. You can see this is having a same interface with that of how we added the policy details under the individual section. Okay, so I'll come back to this. This time around I'll look for another. Let me give group life. It is very good example for corporates. Let me say policy number is /00043. Let me give the start date to 19/01/2027. I'm going to still attach premium payments. These clients, you attach start dates accumulate, but this time around let me put this payment in USD. Let me say $4,000. How much is $4,000 in UGX? Not certain. Maybe you can do that as your anyway. To be back to business, I'm trying to add payments. I'm attaching payments made by this corporate. Can add endorsement, can add everything. Okay, and I'll save. Same process. Client that added successfully. So now I'm having two clients. I am having my individual client and I am having my corporate client as well. As sweet as that, as simple as that. This is my client called Nestwave Technologies. They're having group life with me. That's the insurer. That's the start date. Yes, yes. Those are the details. The payment was in US dollars. Same calculation will be for only US dollars. So there's a different use case scenario for calculating commissions when the payment is USD than UGX. Can be able to view clients' documents. The documents are uploaded. For them, they're here. Okay. Straight up, individuals, corporates, individuals, corporates, individuals, corporates. Okay. So if I try to refresh, this is what I have so far. Okay. Because this second client I recorded in corporates actually paid their premium in UGX, which was $4K, which is showing here. And I think, or not me thinking, or what I can say, which is the most right way, is that I made $700 from this 40K paid from this client as an intermediary. Okay, how does this get to this? Okay, this is my current data I have right now in my records in my tin software. Okay, this is just a demo video, but this actual software can be able to be purchased and installed suit for you as your company with different interdepartment management. Okay, so this is what I have right now so far. So I'm going to add a client, maybe a motto, or I'm going to be demonstrating more of other clients. So right now we know very well that I'm actually having a client called Adam. If I try to write Adam, I can see that I have related record if at all I want this one. So when I click on this, his data will be able to fill itself here, so I don't need to add again because this client is known to the records already. The system knows that this is an IT specialist and software engineer. Maybe their source of funds is employment, so I don't need to write this again. This happens when the client is having or is coming back for another policy, which is not what we have already. If what we have already, the system will be able to check and verify that this policy already exists. So this is the add new insurance section. This is view existing policies for this client. Okay, so now I'm going to be registering this client with a motor insurance. So you will notice that when I click any other insurances or covers, this doesn't change, but motor is special because it is a different one and it is very common. So motor details are shown as below, and I will say this motor was handed over with this insurer, and I'll give the year as 2026. So fill in the details of motor cover. If there are more than one vehicle, click add another vehicle, which is this. If vehicles have same policy numbers, use that same policy number and the dates will auto relate. Okay, so if I'm having one vehicle at a time and the same policy number, let me say policy 89 something like that /40/20. Okay, this policy is starting from today up to next year, which will be 20th. I'll say 20th 01/2027. The vehicle registration number is UAZ 73K. You can write these details straight as how you have them per a client. And I'll say maybe this was a Mercedes. You write it there, Mercedes, and Mercedes was made in maybe in 2005. All these are just assumptions to be used. Maybe he has a station wagon or a double cabin, whatever it can be. Engine number, let me say, is engine 1234. Chassis number is chassis third party insurance type can either be comprehensive or third party. The vehicle use, we shall give it private because it's an individual, but most times maybe it can be commercial, maybe for a company. Purchase price, maybe they purchased the vehicle at 20 million UGX. Okay, so we shall leave that to that. Current market value, you can be able to get the current market value. Let me say 10 million. 123 123. Maybe let me say that's, I'm just all assuming because we're doing a demo for this software. Expired market value, we'll just leave that like not applicable. Windscreen cost, I'll put 2 million, something like that. So if there are multiple vehicles on this same, you can still add this. So I'll just copy this because that's how the system is going to improvise for this, to be able to add multiple vehicles. So the same dates will be coming. Sometimes it can be same, but this is changing, or maybe they actually endorsed this to, maybe the client added on another vehicle later on. All right, so you can just be able to endorse this, or if they're not adding it right now, you'll be able to just come back. You say you want to select motor. Here you'll be writing an endorsement, en something like that, endorsement number, and the system will know that this is an endorsement. You're trying to endorse a certain policy number. So this is UAB J Toyota. That's the year of make of the car. See, double chain car. That's the engine number. Chassis number is that. So now at this current stage of this process, you can see that this is the data we are having at the moment, and next I'll be showing how actually commissions can get to be generated to a point where the system reaches to give this comprehensive summary to get the total earnings and how everything is working. So according to my assumptions and my current formulas, we shall go to commissions to see how everything works. You come to commissions, click on all commissions. So you can see that the system takes some time while trying to generate, but it basically bases on what you are having or as your current premium payments. And you can see that these are the 3 payments that we just made at the start of this demo, showing you all the premium payments. And first was all risk insurance type, which was bought at 3 million. The next one was bought at 1 million UGX. Then the rest of the currency was 4,000 USD. So you want to look at how our assumptions and how our calculations have been happening to make sure we get this net commission payable, which is actually the current earnings you made per client or per insurance paid as the premium amount. So you can be able to sort and see which commission ranges would you want to see from which starting date up to which end date of your payments, from which you updated your records. So this will be able to be auto regenerating again after a given time, and by default that is 2 minutes, just like how you're seeing. It tries to do that again like a simple refresh each after every 2 minutes. This system will try to do the same again if at all there are some new payments or some that were left uncalculated per the last recalculation. So if you want to stop that, you come to stop recalculating after 2 minutes and you click on this. So this will be stopped, the refresh will be stopped. But if you want to manually refresh it, you click on this button. Okay, so now let's get straight into how this exactly takes place. And you see the first client, and this was Adam Levin Olua with all risks, with the policy number, this one, they actually paid the currency which was UGX 3 million. Okay, so at stamp duty of this, these are all UGX because I'm assuming a Ugandan standard, training levy of 0.5, VAT of 18%, and a rate of 80%. So the net premium coming to this commission being that, then we get the withholding tax deduction. Okay, then we go to IRA levy. So I'm going to stop this refresh so that we get straight to the point. You can see that now it comes for this row, it comes straight to the net commission payable. How I'm getting here is like I'm just scrolling to the right of this table, which is something like this. Okay, so at the end of this, it will be able to generate a total amount of premium paid, which is for now 4 million UGX plus $4 net premium, the total in UGX and US dollars. Then finally we shall be able to get the net commission payable. That will be first in UGX plus the amount of the value that is in US dollars. So if I try to click on this, to just give me a breakdown, a clearer breakdown of a client, which was Adam Levin, policy number this one, the currency was UGX, the amount of premium paid was 3 million, and actually to get the stamp duty, this I told you can set these values when you go under covers. So each cover has its own default values which can be able to change. You can see that if you change that and you go back to commissions, it will regenerate again to make sure it is getting the actual values that you're setting. So if let me give an example, let me try to edit all risks. I'm going to give it a maximum rate of 21%. I'll leave this as that. You can be able to change all this. Let me say 17%, and I'll click save. So right now my all risks is standing at the maximum rate of 21% and IRA levy of 1.5, and I'll go back to commission calculations. Okay, you can see that this is still taking 20%, so I'll try to refresh to make sure this commission recalculations is actually synchronizing again with the current covers, cover rates, and settings. So you can see now I'm having a rate of 21%. Okay, so I will see how much I'm getting at this 21%. Now I'm going to click on this first row to get to see what exact settings is this trying to use to make sure that it is beating those rates and giving me the actual earning I made from this client. It shows that I'll first pause a little. Let me first pause. So I'll pick motor comprehensive. So this is the policy number. The amount paid was 1 million. The stamp duty standing at 35,000. The training levy being 0.5. Yes, being 50. Sorry, just to rectify. This is 0.5% training levy. VAT of 18%. So if I want to get the net premium, the system knows that it will get the amount paid, which was 1 million. It will subtract 18% of that, which is like the stamp duty, and it will subtract the training levy, which is this. Okay, to make sure it is trying to get the actual earning you're going to make per that premium payment. Okay, so I'll click on this, minus the training levy minus the VAT, which is going to arrive me to this. Okay, so next I'll have to pick the commission rate times the net premium, giving me this value, withholding tax C. Then I'll also consider the IRA levy. Okay, then I'll get the total deductions, which is withholding tax C plus IRA levy, which is this. So I'm going to get the commission, which is this value here, minus the total deduction, which is this, to arrive me at this amount, which becomes my actual earning I have made from that policy. Okay, which I've made from this motor comprehensive, and you can see that the estimate is now like 106,751 shillings. Okay, and then at the end I will be getting the total value of my earnings, which will be returned on our dashboard to be seeing how much earnings I am actually making at a given period of time, whereby that given period of time you can be able to set that. As you come to these parameters, you can say I want to see from this certain week, you specify the dates here, then you try to filter. All right, so that continues to happen as a process, automated process, given that you have the cover type, you have set the exact cover rates, the training levies, and everything according to your company settings, so that you can be able to arrive to this. And at the end of the day, I can be able to set this and that. I can be able to filter by insurers. I want to know what commissions I've made according to insurers, so the system will be able to check which insurer did you register this cover with, and it will be able to filter. And at the end of it all, you can be able to generate this list as an Excel sheet. You can be able to print it. I've just clicked on Excel, so it will download the copy of this according to what I have at the moment. And I want to open this. This should be able to open up in an Excel sheet to see what actual thing I am actually getting. Okay, so you can see this. It doesn't come with default formulas, but it just gives you a comprehensive sheet of actually what you're going to be having. The same way you've been having it here is the same way it is going to be populated in an Excel sheet, the way you see it, both in UGX and US dollar currencies. All right, so that's the criteria behind the commission generation and how this is working. At the end of it all, you can be able to see your current performance on as an intermediary. So when you go straight under claims, you can see that you can view all claims, you can register a new claim, you can see pending or settled or declined claims. So I'll click on view all claims, and apparently I have no claims. A claim is usually, what can I define it with, but it's quite straight, and for now in the table I have no claims made by my clients. So a claim in this way is happening in a way that if one of my clients is having a claim within that specific period of time when they are having an any active policy with me, yes, so my work is to actually handle everything that claim needs to be happening, or that claim needs to be settled from both the client side and the insurance company. Okay, so right now you can see that I have two clients, and of which one is a corporate and the other is an individual. So if I click on individual, you can see that I have a client called Adam. So we are assuming Adam has a claim. I'll click on Adam first to see the details. I'll minimize this to go to policies. So the current situation states that this client Adam has all risks cover with me, and it's still on at this time. And the client called me at a specific period of time telling me maybe something has happened, so they are trying to file a claim, which is exactly my job as an intermediary, because I need to handle and make sure at the end of the day my client is fully happy and satisfied, right, with what I'm going to give to them as my service. So I'll come to register a claim here. You want to click on register a claim. All right, so you can see that this is the interface on to which you can be able to file up a new claim of any of your clients. Most times if a claim doesn't happen, sometimes a claim can happen but it's not valid, or it's even rejected by the insurance company. Okay, according to research, all that processing from police, what incident reporting and what have you, and whatsoever, and whatever goes down. All right, which I do not know exactly that well, but for the sake of this part, Chin is here to help you to actually do most of that. So you can be able to know that now I can file a claim for my client, where I'll need to provide the client name, okay, the policy number, because all these are known to me already. So there's no way I can put here a claim when I have no the client. I have nothing like the client's data in my system already. All right, so it simply means you need to be having the client already with you, with your records, so you can be able to file up a claim with them. All right, we can get the registration number, the nature of loss, what's exactly happening at the claim, the date of incident, when did this actually happened, or like when did it happen, what's the claim reference number, if any, at the moment, because that's usually the process that's attached on the claims management, usually under intermediaries. All right, so what we do next here is to actually, we have to select the client name first. Whose claim are you trying to work on right now? And we saw this is Adam Levin. This is the list of the current clients I have, and if you have many of those, they'll be appearing here. All right, and I told you apparently I'm having a list of only 2 esteemed clients with me as the intermediary. So I want to click on Adam Levin Olua. So when I click on Adam Levin Olua, what happens that the system should fetch each policy number you have with this client. Okay, so right now we all know that this client has 3 policies with me, and one was third party, the other was comprehensive. All right, so then the other was all risks. So for this case, I'll select all risks if that's all they have. When I try to select all risks, the risk type will be able to be populated here, and the insurer will be known as I'm trying to file up a claim into the system. So when did the client notify me? And that could be exactly, I'll say maybe they told me yesterday. I'm putting a date yesterday. So the risk type is already known because of the policy number. Okay, so this input won't allow me to write again, because I'm actually knowing the records are actually knowing that this client you selected has this policy number, which is having all the risks covers. All right, so what is the registration number? Let me say ABC sample. Okay, what was the nature of loss? Maybe no one knows, but I'll maybe write computer damage. I don't know. I think all risks can cover something like computer damage. When was the date of incidence? Let me say the client, that happened on 19th, but the client actually told me, notified me on 20th. Okay, but today is 21st. That's when I'm actually feeding this into my records. Okay, so what's the claim reference number? If there's a claim reference number, usually this comes from the insurance company. If there is any, I'll have to put it here. Let me say claim ref 123 4 5 6. That's my current reference number. So this was part A, policy details. Okay, claim details. So the next part will be having claim stages and activity logs, and here I'll be having to indicate exactly what's happening from the time when the client notified me. Let me say 20th. I'll put here 20th, and I write what exactly happened. Client notified our claims manager and gave full report of the incidence, occurrence, something like that. So I'll be able to add more other activities if at all I have that data right now. But if I do not, and I'm trying to follow up with this, I'll come back later on and add what's exactly happening. All right, so let me say on 21st I went and did investigation, and maybe let me say surveys. So you can add more stages so that you can be able to follow up and know what exactly is happening. So when I go to the final claim status, I'll leave it as pending, because even in this stage I have nothing like the claim is actually done, or it's settled, or it's something like that. But if I do have them at the time I'm trying to put this for the first time, I'll either select the claim is pending, it's paid. Paid usually means it's settled, closed by client, or not paid with reasons. This usually comes from the insurance company, right? Or maybe it is fully declined, totally declined. So if I have any supportive documents like incident reports, proofs, I have some images, all that and whatsoever is what I'll be attaching here. And you can see that at the moment you can't upload a claim initially without having these physical documents, which is a good checkpoint to be seconding all these actual processes up. All right, so I'll click on choose files to get any documents. Okay, I'll put that, and I'll be able to save my claim, save and submit claim. So I'll save this success record added, and apparently I'm having one claim. All right, so whatever I have to do with this claim, I have to make sure at the end of it all, client is fully satisfied with my work, with my service as the intermediary. Okay, and at the end of it all, there is value for the client from the time they paid that cover to situations when the incident is actually happening. Okay, so you can see these are the details: nature of incidents, computer accident, the claim status claim status is pending for now. Okay, current stage of the claim is today, which is the date, which is 21st. Investigation and surveys were done. Additional comments, no comments so far. If that claim gets actually settled in a few days, in a few times, in a month's time, when the policy is still on, not expired, I'll be able to give later updates. All right, for those who have multiple departments in the agency, you can be able to, usually they have people who manage claims. Yeah, so this can be done by another department or even a single person. All right, so I'm going to update this, and I'll say I want to settle this claim. I'll say maybe on another date, which I can't give more than today. Claim was settled and client fully compensated. Spelling check. Okay, now that's what I have for now. I can add more. Yes, can even add more documents, maybe to support this. All right, then most importantly, I'll have to change the status of this claim to settled or maybe paid. And if it's paid, what amount did they pay to the client? For audit reasons, I'll say maybe it was 200,000. Okay, that's 200,000. So comments cleared claim. All right, so this is what I have right now, and I will say save and submit claim. Claim is edited, so I'm having the total of fully one claim, and I'm having one fully settled. Yeah, you can be able to register a new claim using this. You can see pending claims using this, settled claims, declined claims, whatsoever, everything. So that is simply how you get to manage claims. All right, so for that case, in most times, well, let me say claim isn't settled, here will be a simple notification to fully remind you that, hey, you have one unclaimed, you have one unsettled claim, or maybe you have this and that. It will be appearing here, but this only happens for only expiring policies and claims. So the system should send a notification. Usually that story is backed up by an email to the manager of claims, but for now it's disabled because that's all customizable from the end. So that will be, we shall be able to see all that in the next demos. All right, so that's how you be able to handle claims. And apparently I'm having one claim. When I click here, it shows me that it is trying to fetch claims, and right now I have one at the moment. All right, so that's how you handle claims. So next we shall be seeing how are expiring policies handled, how do you renew, how do you rescind, and how do you get full lists, or how do you even customize and know I'm having 120 policies that are expiring for my. So this next part is to exactly explain how these expiring policies work, because in this section it is actually where you get to manage all data related to expiries of all the insurance policies you're having with all of your clients, and can also be able to help you. Now, this is one of the most important parts of this tin software, because this can be able to help you exactly to be able to manage and know which policies are actually expiring. So right now I can be able to filter. I want to see the expiring policies within, maybe I will say May, maybe I will say March. Let me say from March 21st to, let me say, December of any year, any date, any week. So this can be able to help you to actually to know yourself, because this is exactly where you come in. This is the gist of the matter, that in a way that as an intermediary, you know first before your client knows. All right, so that you can be able to handle them, so that you give excellent service to your actual client, because this is this is the best way you can actually achieve most of your client satisfaction needs, and most of the other needs as the agent. Alright, so if I go straight to expiring policies, or if I click on this shortcut action button, view expiring policies, apparently I'm having nothing, because at the moment the system, it says this section shows policies expiring starting between at least 2 months, because usually you need to be knowing first, at least before 2 months. That's enough time for both of you, the client, and any other third party involved, any other departments you're having, any other way, so that you can actually be able to achieve your organizational needs. All right, so this shows me, because I'm actually recording this in 2026 on 1st. All right, so this is approximately 2 months from now. All right, this is the time between these 2 months. So if I don't want to see that, I'll be actually able to filter. Maybe I want to see the expiring policies from 1st of this year, maybe let me say to the end of this year. This is 31. This is the date, so this will be 31st of 12th of 2026. Then I click to filter. I can filter using which insurers. Remember, I told you this set of insurers list that is returned here, you can be able to add it manually yourself here when you go under insurance management. But this current set I'm having, or I'm working with, it is the default that comes with this software. So in the system you have these already. So my point is that you can be able to filter using exactly this, okay, or even which insurance cover you want to see. And still, I repeat it again, that these covers aren't fixed to what is provided by the system, because you can also get to set them. You can come and set them here. You set their rates, you set their training levies, whatever, because these help us to generate commissions, as I just showed you some few minutes back. All right, so if I go back to expiring policies, which is this pen, I can actually be able to see this. If I click filter to apply, right now you will see that at least I'll be having this, okay. But now I'm going to create a real-time scenario in a way that I can actually view what is really going to happen. Right now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add any client, and I'll choose, maybe let me say corporate. So I'll give that client a cover that is set to expire at least, let me give it a week. In a week's time from now, that will be expiring. So I will click on add new corporate client. The same process, just like how I showed you, and I'll name this client as Google. Let me say that's the client. This is a corporate client. Physical address, I'll give Ireland. All right, email, mail, sample@mail.com. I will assume that's my email. TIN number is TIN123 002. Okay, that's the TIN number of this client I'm adding in this time round. Now what I exactly want is to assign or to actually buy an insurance cover for this client that is actually set to expire in a few days. Okay, so I'll give them, what can I give them? Ooh. I'll give them my cover sample because I just created this some few days back as part of my test. I'll give them any insurer, I'll give them that. I'm not trying to do any advertisement for insurer companies that are existent, but for default I'm having that as my set of examples. Policy number, I'll give policy blah blah slash 900 slash 1234567 slash 001. That's what I'm going to give as my policy number to this client. I'm going to make sure this policy is expiring in a few days from now. Let me assume the policy start date is 1st of this month, and let me say to end in a few days from now. Let me give that on Monday 26th. That's about 5 days from now. The same process I've been doing earlier on in this video is what I'm doing again. I will attach payments. The currency into which they paid the premium was UGX. The amount they paid, let me say, was $35, rather $35,000. Is it 35,000? Whatever it is, but it is 35k USD. So let me say they paid this on 2nd, and they paid the full amount. Later on we shall be seeing how you can be able to handle debts in a way that if this is the current payment the client has made, and maybe let me say they've paid that amount and this is the pending amount, so this will become an automatic debt and it will be known to the system, which will be able to appear here under production debts. But we are going to be seeing that later on, as this is a demo to show how exactly these expiring policies work. So I will upload, and I've uploaded. Now I am having 2 corporate clients. The first one was Nestwave Technologies, the next is Google, and this is having one policy with me, and that is my cover. It is called my cover sample. Okay, this is expiring on 26th of this month. So you can be able to know that if I insinuate a log out, I don't know what exact word I need to use there, but I'm just forcing a log out. I'm trying to log in again, so the system at the moment should show my dashboard that it should at least remind me, because in scenarios when I'm having 100 clients, they're having 200 expiring policies in a time frame of a month. So at least let there be something to remind me, or at least something to give me a hint always. And this is exactly what this software should help you to do. And those are some of the top use cases this thing can help you. I don't know what you can purchase this for, because you can use it for many use case scenarios. You can choose not to use it for claims, you can choose not to use it for expiries, anything you want to use, any other case, or maybe for record keeping purposes. So at the moment, if I try to log in, you can see that boom, a system is trying to build up a notification here to actually tell me, you know what, you're having expiring policies in the next 2 weeks. And first, that will be these same policies I've just put. The same policy is expiring in the next 2 months. Guess what? It will be showing me the client name, the cover type or the cover name, the policy number, then the expiry date. So I'll be like, oh, this is what I have now. Maybe let me take action. Let me remind the client. Let me do this. For the work of this, apparently it can actually be able to send also a copy of an alert or a reminder email to the client prior to 2 months of being expiring, or at least 1 week, or maybe the next day. So most times this can happen, but for now it is turned off because that needs some review from the actual use of this system, because sometimes that can be something that's not good to the client side, the system generated mails, but at least if it could help to send you a comprehensive summary, yes, that what, in the next 2 weeks you're having this and that, they're expiring, please do something, or maybe engage the client. At the end of the time, most clients don't even know that they're having something that's really expiring, right? So if you let them know, they will kind of rate your service out, right? So they will give you more business, they will renew policies with you, all right? They will refer you to other clients. So that is the exact case this can help you with, all right? And in that scenario, this notification will be coming next. So you could notice first in the starting parts of this video that initially we didn't have this, but at the moment you can see that now this is coming up, because first there was nothing like this. We had no expiring policies at the moment, but right now we do have them. So I'll just minimize this, and the next I'm going to show is how exactly do you handle this. How do you renew the policy and what exactly happens? Because with my little knowledge of what should happen, I assume that you engage the client. If the client is to renew, actually talk to you and tell you, what, I'm going to renew this, I am renewing this. If they renew, necessary changes happen, and you actually have to renew the policy. What was supposed to expire now, you renew it at least for the next year, next 365 days, next 5 months, something like that, right? So that's exactly what this is supposed to be doing. Okay, so let's go straight onto that. And now I'm going to come here and I'm going to open the list of expiring policies. Apparently, as I told you, I'm having Google, right? This is the client mail, the policy number, the cover name, all right? Okay, so you can be able to see that this is the policy. If you're having many of these, a list will be showing up. Later on, you can be able to generate and use this for other purposes. Okay, so if you want to renew, usually this will be showing up here. For smaller screen devices, at least this will be able to show you more other actions or what you can do. So I'll click on renew. What exactly happens to renew? So here is a quick summary stating that welcome to policy renewal. Simply confirms details of the policy first, its premium payments, then enter new policy number plus start and end dates, add payments for the new policy number, supporting files for the new policy number. Alright, so that is quite clear and straight, and just like how you've had that, it's exactly what I'm going to do here. Alright, this is actually divided in two small sections, which is part A. I'll try to minimize and show this. Okay, part A is where you see policy details of the old one, then part B is where you see policy renewal details of the new policy number. So this is our current policy number and it is set to expire here on this date. This is the client name, details, this record was created at statewide insurance, is the insurer, the reminder status wasn't sent. Okay, I told you this is a default action by the system, but the moment you purchase this, that won't be happening. Okay, so who created this record? It will be user 1, who is the current person using this. Okay, and that's me right now. You can see my profile is having user 1. Okay, so now after seeing this, you can be able to see that I also have supporting documents. If at all there was something that wasn't included here and you want to see the actual thing that was in the documents that were initially attached while making this record onto the software or onto the system, you just have to click to this and it will be opening up a new pen to show you the document. So here there is nothing, but according to what you attached, it will be showing you straight to give you a hint exactly on what data you should be putting on the policy renewal. So last time the client paid this amount of money, all right, this was in US dollars. So what are they going to pay this time round? What will the new policy number look like? Okay, so that's exactly what we are here to do, and without further ado, that's why we have to go through this. So I'll just demonstrate this. So usually the policy number becomes renewed and there is another number assigned to this. Most times it is actually this number. So I'm going to copy this and I'll paste it here. Then usually they add other digits. Let me say they're adding another digit, something like this, to make sure that they're renewing this. Or maybe for the sake of this video, I'm going to put like 01, then I write a word like renewed, such that you can be able to differentiate it later on, for the sake of understanding how exactly this software works. So sometimes you can choose to change the insurer. Maybe the client wasn't okay with this old insurer, right? So, or maybe you have decided to make a comprehensive choice for your client to actually tell them, no, let us use this insurer, right? So I'll give another insurer. So when is this current policy starting again? This one was ending on 26th, so I'll just get 27th of 01 2026. Then I'll just give it to the next 1 year or whatever it can be. Usually that it is a day before the actual expiry, so I'll give 26th of this month, but 2027. Alright, so last time this client paid $35K, so I'm going to get this. I told you the policy dates will be able to auto accumulate. Payment is due in USD. I will say, let me say this time around they're paying they're paying this amount. All right, so let me give them this amount, that is 38K, and they paid it, let me say today they paid full amount, so no outstanding amount, no debts. Just give any comment like cleared. I can even attach documents of the renewed. Okay, so I'll just click save. So if I do this, you can see that the policy number, this has been successfully renewed with the new policy number. This, you can remember that this is what I typed as the new policy number, and this is going to start from this date up to this date, and that's all done. And if I want, I can actually say go back to expiries list, and here we are. At the moment you can see that I'm having no expiries at all, because what I was having initially, I have just renewed it. It doesn't mean that does not mean that the older policy details are lost, or that record I do not have it at all. No, it simply means I have that, but I'm also having this new policy number, right? The renewed one of the other older one. So if I try to close this, maybe I go back to my client. It was a corporate. Go to corporate. You can see that this corporate, whose insurance I just renewed, is having one policy. If I click to see the details, you can see Google Inc. has the following policies. This is one, and this is one. If we try to take a keen eye on this, so if I try to scroll on my right, I see this is already expiring. Okay, this is our policy number, and most important here on the renewal status of this first one, to show that this was renewed with the policy number dash dash dash, which is this one. All right, so that's how you know. So later on the sequence continues. If at all this one has also expired, okay, it will also be reflecting here that this was renewed with this policy number. The same continues. All right, so that's exactly how you handle policies that are expiring on time. You can be able to do this instantly. Okay, so you're the first to know. You help the client manage their covering on time. Okay, if I go to premium payments, you can see I'm having this, even this. Okay, so this was that, this was that, this was that, no comments, and this was registered by user 1. All the logs are fully detailed here. And guess what, also my system is already calculating the commission I'm making from this renewed one. So when you take a keen eye on the other first one, this is what I made on it, but now this time around I'm having this. Okay, because the premium paid here was actually bigger. Okay, so even if I go to my commissions, as showed you earlier, I was having only 3 records. Now they're actually 4, 5. They're actually 5 because this is a renewal of this, but it is still a payment. Yes, it is still a payment, same rates, same whatever. Okay, so this is exactly what happens at the moment. So that's exactly how you handle expiring policies. What slightly changes is that for policies that are like motor, let me say a motor policy with a given client had 10 cars or maybe 10 vehicles covered under the same policy, and this time around the client is able to only renew 6 of them. So what happens to the other 4? The same process is what you follow while trying to renew the same policy. Okay, because usually that's what happens. So you can be able to remove what wasn't renewed. You'll be like, in the next renewed policy, this wasn't put, so I'll remove this. So I'll be demonstrating that later on, but also that's a clear use case. But for the rest of the renewals that are basically not, that are really not motor policies, the same policies, the same, rather I'm trying to say that for other policies that were non-motor, it is the same process with what I just showed. And what differs is for motor policies. If you're having any motor policies that are expiring and maybe it has multiple cars, you can be able to remove or even add more, right? Or even endorse. So all that can be handled under expiring policies, and that's exactly how expiring policy sections work. And this is the section right here. Okay, so next I'll be going to production or office management, and here I'm going to be able to see all my premium payments, see actual earnings as a list. I see the dates, I see requisitions, petty cash, all that. So right now I'll just close this. Now click on all payments. You can see that this is the premium I expected, alright, which was first 4 million UGX, then plus this dollar amount, okay, which is the total of all these I've been having here. You can see that this was a USD payment, USD. This is the total of that, and most importantly, this was all paid together. You can see that the paid amount is the same as this. Can be able to show premium payments of today, so of the other day. So I think I'll be adding here something where you can be able to customize which premium payments you want to see, maybe for a given year or a given set of ranges of time. But if you want this, you can even generate this as an Excel sheet, and it will be showing you your payments of premiums for audit purposes, right? Then the earnings, there's no difference from this commission generation. These are the total final earnings you have right now, which are fully separated both in UGX and dollars. This is exactly what I'm making as an intermediary at the moment with my clients. How many clients I'm having right now? There are simply 3. Yes, so if I go back to this and I go to earnings, this is what I've made so far from these clients. Okay, if you want to see how this is reached at, you can click here to go to view commission calculations. Okay, so I'll minimize this. So I'm going to be demonstrating dates next, how exactly dates are handled, and that is simply to say client was supposed to pay, let me say $2, but they've paid $1. How will the system be able to handle that, and how can you be able to be keeping track of that and be knowing what next is that I'll be showing exactly how these dates come about in this tin software. So when a client, as I said, pays part of the payment that is supposed to be expected from them as the premium payment, and it's not fully paid, that automatically becomes a debt. All right, yes. So you can see that this can work offline, this system can work offline. So if you try to reconnect to a network to be able to load all relevant data, but that all depends on the exact use case you're going to be working with as the user of this product. Okay, so when I go to dates, right now I'm having no date because the current set of clients is that I'm having this because this came as a test I was trying to do the other side, but I'm going to try to demonstrate it again for the purposes of understandability of this. Okay, so and the date can't be moved straight because you are actually trying to alter other records. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this whole client as another way of also showing what deleting does to this set of software. And if I try to delete a client, you'll notice that I'm getting an alert of, are you sure I want to delete this client? Because all the biodata, the client's policies, premium payments, claim records will be lost too. Okay, so that is what simply happens when you delete from here, because here you're generally deleting the client whole, like the whole process of deleting the client. All right, so what that does is that it remove all related records. But if you actually click on a client and you remove unwanted things, if at this stage you remove, let me say I want to delete this, you will notice that you're going to remove premium payments too. All right, because ethically that's not logically working, because how can you remove the policy data but you're actually having the other records? So if you leave this, and maybe let me say you're deleting the policy premium payments, simply means you're deleting this but you're not removing the policy data. But so if you delete this, it simply means you're removing all this. So let us see how that happens, because this is really a vast system. So my work here at this set of time is to fully show you exactly how this works, or how it is supposed to be working for you or any other entity that is supposed to be using this for reasons of achieving organizational objectives. So if I go to date, if I have that, I told you let me try to delete this so that they go with all their details, so that I do it again. Right, so if I come back to dates, let me refresh to see if I have no date at all. What I'm going to do, still I'm going to add a new client, but instead of adding a new client, I can actually use the older ones. But now let me add a new individual client as another way to show you how you can do that too. The client will be called what name can I give to the client now? What do you suggest? Okay. Now let the client be a lady this time, and I'll call this Linda. Halves, Spencer. Oh, let me just get some other African name. Dangote. Okay, physical address, let me say Kampala. Status, widowed. Passport number is that one, just assuming. TIN is 000010. Postal address is 0002, that one. Number is blah 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 blah. Date of birth, let me say she was born on 1st January 1990. Nationality, what nationality can I give to this one? Whatever, I'll give this Burundian. Occupation, she's a lawyer. Source of funds, let me say she gets the funds to finance her insurance from her allowances. Alright, and I'll give this lady health. Let me give her health insurance, something to do with health. Do I have it? What is it called? There's a certain name they give it, but I'll just give that insurer. I'll give that, yeah. Client, policy number is P. That's the policy number. Policy number will start from this date up to 20th of next year. Now, payment, this lady is going to pay in Ugandan shillings. They're going to pay 5 million. Just assuming, because I'm not trying to attack any set rates, or I'm not trying to attach any prices to what I know, but I'm just assuming, because I don't mean these are the actual values of the costs of these covers, of some of these covers. Okay, so now this time around we're expecting for them to pay 5 million. They're going to pay 4 million for now. They're like, you know what, I'm going to add on later on. Okay, so automatically this will be a debt. Okay, you can be able to comment here if you want that to be known. Add comments, the lady said she will be paying like this, or maybe you'll be paying on a frequency of blah blah blah. So I'll give documents here. Okay, I'll click to upload and save proposal data. So you notice that ethically or logically, you know that we are demanding this client 1 million, just like how you've seen, that she actually managed to pay 4 million of that. Automatically, we shall be having a new premium record. We shall be able to get net commission again, and we shall also be having an earning as extracted from that current payment they made. So the earning is not calculated from the initial amount we are expecting from the client, but what is actually at hand. Okay, she gave me 4 million. I'm supposed to get my commission from that already. I'm assuming that's how it works. I don't know how other agents do it, but I might be right, because okay, what's brought forward, let us also get from that. It simply means if they ever make payment of the other debt, I'll also be earning some commission from that. Alright, okay, so if I go to production or office, I want to go to debts. Apparently I'm having someone I'm dating 1 million. Okay, and this is Linda Halves Dangote. A UGX of 1 million is in debts with her. The debt status, of course, is uncleared. Okay, all this you can be able to see that. Now, what happens here? We need to see that we need to actually know Now let me set a given later date. This client is choosing to pay up. I'll click on update date. Client is Linda Huffs. Okay, the date, this was it, and the risk type was burglary. Okay, so there's 3 scenarios. They can either choose to pay the whole thing, pay half, alright, or even pay, so this is the current date, which is in UGX. Okay, so let me say she's going to pay half of it, so I'll choose paying part of it. So the system will provide where I can put the amount paid by this client, and I say they are paying 500. Obviously the balance will become 500. All right, okay, let me say they are paying 600 of that. The remaining balance will be 400. Right, and this, let me assume it is being paid today. I say client paid half of all debt. Right, so BFF would be, balance brought forward would be 400. 1 2 3, it's just a comment, and I'll click update date. Okay, so it says success, partial payment recorded and old debt updated. So the system has simply updated the old debt, that this debt of 1 million has been paid, part of it 600,000, then the balance has been carried forward, which balance was 400,000. So right now my debts are standing at 400. All right, so I'm guessing this is my comment which I put. So I'll say the client is also paying this 400, maybe on a later date. All right, I'll have to change the status of the debt here to cleared. Automatically the system will know they've cleared this. But if they're paying half of it, you need to improvise, or no, you don't need to improvise, it's already improvised. You need to provide, okay, to provide what they've paid. But now in this scenario I'm going to put cleared. All you have to do is provide when they made this clearance. Let me say that's 21st, and I'll say update date. That's done. Dates, I have nothing. Okay, so apparently this table is empty. Okay, but that simply doesn't mean that someone was paying. Okay, someone was trying to pay, they paid the other time, they paid the next day. We need all that record, all like history, or payment charts, or transaction, and that will be simply recorded under here. You click on view all debt transaction. You can see that on this date, at this risk, this client with policy number in the currency of this, they had a debt at the moment of this, which was in UGX, and they paid this amount, so the debt became uncleared. All right, so this is what we have right now. Then the next time they did this, simply that is to show you what is exactly happening. So still our commission will still be increasing the more they pay later on. Still we have to get the commission we work for. All right, so that is the sake of debts, which is here. All right, yes, so all those are some of the use case scenarios this tin software has been made with, which can be even revised with later on with latest technologies and approaches, and this can be updated. You can see that this version is actually 1.36, which I can choose to later on upgrade this, okay, to actually make the system more robust, to be at least more smart, or maybe to employ some artificial intelligence to make sure we are utilizing every step the client is doing, or actually they are trying to do. All right, so but what you need to know, that this system at the moment, it makes full use of what you've provided it with, because there is no way we could even handle claims if you had no client at all. Right, you get the point. So what you have is what the system should analyze according to relating the records. Okay, because you can say at the moment we have 3 clients. We've been able to manage debts, being able to know the commission we are having from them, being able to know the total earnings and whatsoever. Okay, so the main important part is to make sure you have enough and fully updated client list of both corporates and individuals who you're actually going to work with. So this next clip is showing how you can actually get requisition. So I'll click on requisition. If I want to request for something for my department, maybe to the finance, something like that, you can see that this can also be managed within this software, and can even show the requisition by year, which do I want to see. I'll see the number, the date of requisition, the name, department, total amount requested, prepared by, and whatsoever. So I'll make a new requisition, and let me say I'm requesting to finance. Maybe I'm IT department. Okay, let me say today we are requesting for some office furniture. Hey, I guess that's the spelling. Okay, maybe let me say 3 tables. So you see that this is like a sheet where I'm actually filling this, which will be sent to whatever party that will be concerned for this, having what exactly I want. So if I want 3 tables, and I'll say 4 seats, and that could be equal to about 4 million. Apparently this is in UGX only, and on the same date, internet troubleshooting, maybe let me say I need that for the office. Okay, troubleshooting, maybe I can't quantify this, but I'll put 40,000, or let me put 400. No, let me put 65,000 UGX, right? If I have any more to request, I'll just click on add another item, and you can notice that the more I keep putting a cash value to this requisition form, the more it can automatically count in words but in shillings, because so far now this is 4 million, yes, 605,000. So the same will come here, because you can't edit this because it is auto calculated from this. This is trying to protect the fact that you can't actually write a wrong value here, yet here you have a different thing. So that is still auto generated from the system. If I try to add, I'm also requesting for some transport allowance, so 1 trip, now put 100,000. Can get to notice that this is changing, and this is also changing as well, smartly calculating and letting you know that you're actually requesting for this. And let me say this was requested by user 1, this was received by, let me say, by finance deputy, authorized by user 1, something like that. So I will save requisition. The moment I save, the system should capture the items I want and should keep that in the record in a way that another party can be able to review and look into this, and they can actually approve, decline, or to be able to give me that money I'm actually requesting, whereby in this table it is actually showing me that I was requesting 4,165,000 Ugandan shillings. Okay, so that is my requisition I'm putting in. So most times this will be approved by the managing director, onto which they also have the same account but with different rights, in a way that they can be able to approve or decline such items because of the fact that they are managing directors. So I managed to create a a managing director account here, which will be used for demonstration purposes. And by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to be leaving a direct link for the live demo of this tin software, so anyone can be able to do anything I was doing in this video, but with that live part of this system. I'll be able to put it under the description of this, so that you can be able to also familiarize around before you can actually get to purchase this very, very beautiful software for your entity or company or agency. Alright, so now I'm going to try to log out, then I log in as any MD. Okay, so now I log in as MD. Assume that's my account, password is password. Now sign in, same way, same authorization. I'll have to put in the OTP. Okay, let it be 00. Yes, so they will be seeing same of this. Okay, because it's still the same system, same part. Okay, so what brought me here is to actually see the requisition someone sent. And you see that this is pending. As the MD, I'll look into it. And how do I do that? I just have to click on this. I open this requisition. I see the details, what they're actually wanting. Okay, date of requisition, this is it, IT department. The following items are requested. That, okay, this, on that date they want this. Amount in word is 4 million shillings, 165,000 shillings only. Alright, so simply tells you this requisition is invalid without MD signature. You can notice that if you're logged in as the MD managing director, you can actually get to attach a signature. Here, how do you do that? You can actually do this if you have any connected peripheral to the machine. Maybe let me say like a pen. Yeah, pen, you can be able to write onto this pad and attach your signature to show that you've attached or you've accepted or declined this, or you've even seen this. So I will approve requisition, and this is already approved with my signature. So let me log out and I go back to my user one who isn't the MD. Okay, my requisition was approved by the managing director or any concerned parties or finance or whatever setting they have. So if I go back to my requisition, I see now this is approved. Okay, it was, and if it was not approved, you can see this MD approval status is approved, authorized by me. Can even print requisition, but for now I'll leave that because I have no printer attached to this. Can even open this and just view what it looks like. So I'll go back. Alright, now we'll go to petty cash. You want to click on petty cash. Okay, so far I have no petty cash. I'm going to try to add new petty cash. I don't want this video to get long, so I'll increase on my speed. Alright, so if I received petty cash on this, let me say IT officer, I received 30,000. I'm going to enter petty cash usage as below. Maybe I used transport, one trip, and I used 20,000. If there's a receipt number, no receipt. If I use this lunch, and I said NA, not applicable, and I used 30k of this receipt number, receipt 1, 2, 3, whatever it can be. See, trying to get the petty cash I used. Airtime. This is all office management. One token, and that was 3,000. Okay, NA. So the balance of this petty cash, at least I should be having 4,000. 4 was the balance, right? If I have any physical proof, I can attach this. If I do not want, I'm free not to actually include this. If I have maybe say this is the proof, so I'll click save. Petty cash, so far I received 30,000 as a user. Okay, this is it. So that's how petty cash works. You can be able to do more with that. You can be able to add expenses, salary expenses, field transport, other expenses. Maybe in other expenses I have something like from maybe this date I had an expense of day dry cleaning. Okay, so the amount was 5,000, 50,000. That's 50,000. Receipt number. That's the receipt number. Description. I can leave that like that. Oh, this has to be a number, cause usually these receipts, most of them have them as books. This was done. Click save expense. This is my other expenses I have so far now. Yeah, so you can see now total expense. I have something here. Can go to insurers. I told you can add an insurer with whom you're going to work with, and will be included in all the lists. I'll say my insurer sample ABCDE. No, I'll just give this life. Sorry, give this life. I'll give my insurer sample name ABC. Website, I can leave that if I want. At mail.com. Phone number, that's the phone number. I'll save this record. So it simply means I have a new insurer. I can go back and see that if I try to search here, my insurer is here. If maybe I'm trying to add a client and I want to use this as an insurer, you can see that now I do have them. Here it is. Okay, right. Same goes to insurer, rather goes to covers and rates. Okay, these are the covers and rates. That's how that all happens. So you can see that I can add another cover, can export this, can manage users. So you can even set which users you want to work with in this system. Alright, as I told you, right now we have 2 users, and that is the MD and me as the user 1. Okay, so this person usually has special rights, and you can see user 1, apparently I'm super admin. That's why these options are available to me. But if I'm not, I can't add another user, I can't invite user. Can add user here, giving them a username, any password, then the role can be super admin, admin, or other. Alright, okay, so can go to reports. I can generate a report, customizable report, audit trails, all that. Can even alter my settings. Actually, what you can get if you want to do purchases for this, you can be able to get in touch with us. Okay, because you can have this on a wide range, or interdepartmental, or maybe as a small entity company, or maybe on one machine, maybe like this, working locally. All right, you can be able to host or have this on a wider platform to be able to you can have a way to achieve the company goals by many other people. All right, I have many other things I haven't demonstrated, but they have the very more, and this is the basic version of this, because there is a fully working enterprise version made to be fully deployable, which is very more smart and robust for just to handle cases of insurance intermediaries. Okay, I'll end this video here, and you can be able to reach out to this email, or I'm going to be leaving all full details of how exactly you can reach out to us and how you can get this beautiful software. Okay, so for those who are to inbox us for business, you can send an email to this email, and we shall be able to get or support you straight for special cases and any other way of actually seeing that you can purchase or you can work with us. Okay, so these are our contact details: info@nestwavetechnologies.com, and this is WhatsApp or any number you can call on, or maybe a personal email, which is Ernest